welcome to the next video. This is the video where I have just printed all the 4 pieces that we need for our little sink project. I'm gonna show you the pieces here. This is the upper left if you compare it to that. See it like that. Turned out pretty good. There wasn't much errors here, considering we didn't use any supports. So that's very good. I just did a very little cleaning there, but generally, yeah, no problem. So yeah, looks pretty nice. So that was the first piece. And here is the second piece. It's basically the same piece, it's just reversed and without a hole in it for the tap. Same thing here, no supports. Turned out rather nice. It's just a little, you can see it's been hanging the first layer, the stretched filament. But on top here, it's nice, and that's what we're gonna see, so. And third piece is our sink. And here you can see the little gradient that we created. It's a bit rough on the gradient as it's, you know, building up the layers from there up to there. But that's gonna be fixed when we put epoxy on this, when we encase this in another layer of plastic manually. So yeah, it's really good. And this, of course, then is the same kind of piece as the third piece. It's just mirrored. And you see the same thing here. It's a bit rough on the gradient. But hopefully we can fix that. So yeah, that's our sink. I printed this with 200 microns resolution, and just to save time. And each piece took about 8 hours to print. So we're looking at a 32-hour print here. So as you can imagine, it's gone quite long ago since the last video. But yeah, 32 hours effective printing time. Now we need to glue these together. So I'm gonna go and do that. I'm just gonna put normal, like, building super glue. It's kind of super glue with it's kind of jelly texture. I like the gel version better, the building one, because it doesn't drip and it doesn't you know, attach immediately in case you do an error. And these are quite large surfaces, so they will stick immediately, and I don't want that. So I'm gonna use that, and I'm gonna push them together. And I'm gonna leave it until tomorrow to dry. All right. Okay, so now we have glued our sink. Just using the normal super glue that I just mentioned. It's a normal building super glue that you normally used to, you know, glue boards to walls and whatnot, but it's also very good for this project. All right, so the next step here now is to laminate it with epoxy. Basically just gonna paint it with 2-compound laminating epoxy. This is 2-component. And it's used, I think, primarily for boats. You can buy this probably at a boat place or whatnot. I have a warehouse here in Sweden called Biltema. It's roughly translating to car theme, but they have a lot more than just stuff for cars. So I bought my stuff there. And what we do now here is we take 2 parts of this and 1 part of that, We mix them together. So yeah, I'm just gonna mix these two, and then I'm just gonna use this compound to paint a layer onto this all around and inside and everywhere, basically. Just using a normal brush. Okay, so our plastic layer has dried up. The two compound plastic that we manually put on. We painted it in. What you see now is the result after sandpapering. Just using normal, what is it? P180 grain. It's a rather fine sandpaper. You can probably use any sandpaper, just not as it's too coarse, because then you're gonna start ripping off the plastic, I think. So yeah, just been running over this with sandpaper, so smooth up the surface and prepare it for receiving the paint, because that is the next step. Now you might wonder why I'm gonna paint it. Well, I want it white, of course, because it's gonna be in the bathroom. And then you might wonder, why the hell did you not print this in white material? Well, to be honest, I didn't have any white filament. So yeah, that's the short answer. The long answer is also, except for that, of course, that I would like to see all my results, so I can see if I missed a spot and something when I'm sandpapering and painting and everything. Because I mean, if it's white already, then you can't really see where it becomes white when I sandpaper it. And furthermore, you can't see if you missed a spot when you paint it. And I want everything covered, of course, just to make sure that it's the surface is gonna take a little more beating. So I'm gonna clean this up now from all the dust, and then I'm gonna give it a layer of spray paint.